Let me now go across to Sanjay Kumar Chadha, Supreme Court advocate. Before I go across to Sunita Godra, Sanjay Chadha, you know, a lot has been said by the Delhi police and on behalf of the Delhi police about why they've acted the way they have and refused to do what they have in recent weeks in this particular case. We've been told that, it was very important to verify the veracity of the allegations made against this great man called Brij Bhushan Charan Singh. Before that, how could an FIR be registered? How could the Delhi police even dream of arresting him? How could they even dream of questioning him? Never mind the fact that he faces a PASCO case. Sir, you are a lawyer, you know this better than me. Tell me, sir, is this not correct? That as per the Supreme Court verdict in the Lalita Kumari versus Government of Uttar Pradesh and others case going back to 2014, if the truthfulness and plausibility of the explanation for the delay in the registration, in the filing of a complaint are established to the satisfaction of the court, then, then there is absolutely no justification on part of the police in dealing, registering an FIR. Why do I say this? Because a lot of people have said, oh, but these wrestlers have come out after so many years. It took them years to come out and register this complaint against Brij Bhushan Charan Singh. But sir, tell me, has the Supreme Court of India not clearly laid down that whether it is 2 months, 2 years or 7 years, if any woman comes out and says that she has faced sexual harassment and the court is satisfied that there is merit in the allegations that she is leveling, then there is no reason or justification to delay registering an FIR. Is that true or not, sir?
Absolutely true. And you yourself has quoted the law. You yourself have quoted the judgment. You hit the nail. I wanted to quote this judgment. And everybody who talks about FIR and what are the circumstances in which circumstances the FIR is to be recorded will always quote this judgment. This is a very landmark judgment. That is one. Second, all the constitutional courts, high courts and Supreme Court, have an iota of judgments have stated that if a person comes to you, alleges something, I'm saying person, not woman. Woman is more, a way ahead. Even a person goes that, look, this thing has happened. FIR is the first place from where the criminal law moves, the action takes. No, if it is a false FIR, the police has all rights to file a closure report. So the law is very clear that in case there is some allegation, somebody comes and says that, look, this has happened, you have to file an FIR, number one. Number two, the law is so strict that in case you don't register an FIR or the officer don't register an FIR, there is a specific provision for punishing such officer. You can ask the police person sitting here. There is a CRPC, there is a specific provision which says that such officer will be punished. That is what is the law of the land.
Dereliction of duty.
I will take 1 minute, Neha.
Yes,
something
please go ahead.
Which I am going to say, which shocks the conscience of this country. Every day, I know many such people who have time and again said that, look, if you have to register an FIR, you have to go to your political AGA. Some MP, MLA has to phone. Then only police will mark into action. Even in rural area, which is 80% plus of this country, where the rule is not rule of law with which we are governed. It is rule by the politicians. A day before we have seen the judgment of that Mukhtar Ansari. It took 32 years. District court only. Neha,
Yes.
we are not going anywhere else. District
Exactly.
court only. Then you go to High Court.
It'll probably be another 30 years by the time it reaches the Supreme Court, which eventually it will.
I totally agree with you. I mean, this is the state of our criminal justice delivery system. If this is the state of system we have, then I think we should close doors. We should sit quietly at home, scared, because there's nobody to save you. There are people who are just collecting taxes. And if I may further say something that will be very painful listening, that the way the corruption is there, I really respect Delhi police. They are very fast. We have got excellent officers in Delhi police. But what SIT has been framed? Who are those people who are investigating? Is there somebody who knows that in cases of POXCO, you have to first arrest the criminal? This is the
Exactly.
first and only case where
Yes,
arrest is
where
not
the
being done.
police refused to register an FIR until the Supreme Court intervened, where they refused to interrogate the man for the longest time. You know, I find it laughable that they have recorded the statements of 137 individuals,
And not the
137
criminal.
individuals before even contemplating interrogating this man. And yes, I agree with you 100% when you express your outrage over the state of affairs as far as the country's justice
I want
delivery
to say
system
one
is
more thing,
concerned.
Neha.
And this is what I said at the start of my show, Mr. Chadha, that this case, you know, will be, it's a benchmark case. It's not just about whether justice will be done for these 7 women wrestlers. The entire country is watching this case because, as you said, sir, that if the country's top wrestlers, who I repeatedly refer to as our heroes and our champions, if they have to struggle
Superheroes.
so much to even have an FIR registered, if we are not going to believe them, if the police are not going to believe them, tell me what chance does an ordinary woman of this country have to seek justice?
If our superheroes are treated like this by police, if our superheroes, you are saying heroes, I am saying superheroes. If our superheroes are treated like this, who has got medal from Olympics?
Yes,
How
where
many
do the
Olympic
ordinary
medals we
women
have?
go? Where do the ordinary women of this country
Where the
go?
ordinary woman,
The
ordinary
onus,
person will go?
I agree. And you know, and then it infuriates me when, you know, insinuations are made, you know, with people saying, oh, but you know, it took them 7 years to come out and lodge this complaint against the man. Yes, it took them 7 years in certain cases, 3 years in other cases, because it is not easy to take on a man as powerful as Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. And if you needed any evidence to that effect, it is before us today. Look at what's happening in this case. This is what should tell you why it takes so much courage on part of women to come out and accuse a man of sexual harassment.
One
Sunita
more thing I
Godra,
want to say,
I'll come
Neha.
back to you, sir. I'll come. Sanjay K Chadha, what has the conduct of the Delhi police told us so far? Let's believe the man who has faced in the past cases of theft, rioting, murder, criminal intimidation, attempt to murder and kidnapping. But let's not believe our Olympic champions prima facie. Let's believe the man who faces a sexual harassment case and is going around intimidating and threatening our wrestlers. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Because he's a 6-time MP, let's not prima facie believe the men and women who've won medals for this country.
Neha ji, the law is this. POXCO cases, you have to arrest. Section 10, Section 9 are attracted. My friend Rao Saab is sitting here. He will, I challenge it to anybody who could tell us any case where Section 9 and 10 are attracted and person is not arrested. First, the investigation will begin in police custody only. That is one aspect. Very, very important. Raoji is my very, very close and I know him very well. He is a gem of a person that way. But I wanted to say that arrest is necessary in this case. One. Second very important thing which Sunita ji has said. I want to quote, there are various federations. All India Chess Federation has made ethics commission. All India Chess Commission has chess federation has domestic when there is a committee which has that violence at the workplace, they have the committee. So ऐसा नहीं है कि बाकी लोग जो हैं वो नहीं कर रहे हैं. This federation does not have. I have given you the example of All India Chess Federation. They have both ethics commission as well as they have this committee under the act of violence at workplace. So against the women. So कथनी और करनी में फर्क है. जो लोग करना चाहते हैं वो लोग कर रहे हैं, और उनकी जो तमाम बॉडीज हैं वो परिपक्वता से लॉ भी फॉलो कर रही है. दिस वन एग्जांपल आई वांटेड टू गिव, व्हिच आई शेयर्ड. सो एज फार एज दिस केस इज कंसर्न, अरेस्ट was inevitable. It has to be there. We have seen FIR is by virtue of the court's order. What has happened? What has happened is, in this country, no action has takes place till the time there is a pressure from up. So this is a established fact.
Or if
Whether
the
we are,
man who's been accused has political influence, then you
if there
can
is a
forget
political
about the police
influence,
acting. And Mr. Chadha, I want to ask you another quick question before I go back to Sunita Godra. You're a lawyer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it true that in multiple cases, the police oppose grant of bail to an accused on the grounds that the accused is influential and in a position to tamper with evidence or intimidate witnesses if let out on bail? Here, you have a situation where the man, no doubt, is extremely influential. He has exhibited his influence abundantly in the last few months. The man faces a POXO Act. He goes around openly threatening and intimidating his accusers, and no question of his arrest. Don't the Delhi police see what the man is up to? We've all heard his obnoxious statements, the speeches that he has made. Sunita Godra referred to the rubbish that he has been spewing against the women who've accused him of sexual harassment, intimidating them, threatening them, and subjecting them to character assassination. None of that matters?
absolutely. These are the paramount things. These are very, very crucial. The police has all the reasons to arrest him. Not only that, one more thing, Neha, nobody has talked about it. There are 10 incidences, and each incident is separate. So there should be 10 FIRs. So if at all we see 5 to 7 years of punishment in one FIR, so there are 10, 50 years of imprisonment should be given to him. You see this from this angle also. If every no, of course, when the case is proved, then only this punishment will be given. So there are full-fledged scene where 10 FIR should have been recorded instead of 2, which are there at present, one under POSCO Act and one under IPC. It is a clear-cut case. We have this influential person. We should see that he should be arrested. What time is needed?
And his track record, as Mr. Ellen Rao says, his track record should have been taken into consideration. I mean, this is a man who's been accused of murder and attempt to murder and kidnapping and rioting. It's a very long list. I run out of breath every time I start reading all those charges against him.
His list of these offenses will be against him when he should go for bail. I mean, all this is.
But Delhi police did not think it necessary. They did not think it necessary to take this into account when this.
That is why I said, Neha ji, in the beginning that it is nothing but political influence. What else you want me to say? I mean, beyond it.
Okay. I think, we've all felt a collective sense of frustration in this case. Talking about a man who ordinarily would be described as a history sheeter. Sanjay Chadha, clearly the man was not going to step aside on his own. And I find it absolutely mind-boggling that nobody thought it fit to sack him. Nobody thought it fit to arrest him. What happens next in this case? What should happen next in this case according to you?
What I feel that in this case, simply now, each Indian, rather, I would say, wants first that he should be arrested. That is one thing. Second is, as per the law, whatever is there, because our law provides for such thing. So we should, and then this will give a message to the masses that yes, law is existing, we are governed by rule of law, and there is no different law for rich and powerful people. The same law exists for each and everybody. That is very, very necessary. Okay. And that thereafter, free. I am not saying that the wrestlers, whatever they are alleging, are gospel truth. You have to see that this is an investigation has to proceed.
At least
Because what
investigate
kind of
fairly. At least investigate without bias. I think
Exactly, that's what
that
I'm
is
saying.
all that even the wrestlers have been demanding. Okay, I'm completely out of time, so I'd like to thank our guests for joining us. But before we wrap up this